It's the 16th of July today, 2020. The apiary is pretty quiet. It's a beautiful day. Little breeze in the trees, nothing too heavy at this point. The forecast said it was going to be pretty windy today, but so far it's very nice. Hardly a cloud in the sky, a little bit. High clouds, bright sunshine. Mid to upper 20s. I think our humidex today was supposed to be about 35. So I'm feeling it. I'm sure thankful for the ultra breeze. Although my zipper broke. So I need to get my veil. So put off this little job too long. What I'm doing is checking these hives. There's a few here that are singles still. There's a couple over here that are singles. And a bunch you can't see, and so I'm checking them for laying queens because I had either performed OTS on those colonies earlier a month ago, or I had put a grafted queen cell in those colonies to requeen. For the most part, I had taken the old queens out of the hive and put in a nuke with the frame of brood that they were on. That's about all. And so I put them either a 4 or 5 frame nuke, and for the most part those old queens have been laying very well. I've harvested a number of frames of brood from those small nukes, and I intend to continue to do so for probably another 6 weeks. So that's nice. That's another 2 rounds of brood in there. Some of them I've actually put a second box on to give her space because of honey flow. They're starting to backfill a bit. But that's working out really well. It's going to be a shame to kill some of those old queens because there's a couple of them that are really laying hard. Maybe they're laying for their life. I don't know. But, you know, an old queen, their chances of making it through the winter just diminish every year. So trying to keep newer stock. I'm trying to work on the premise that if it's not last year's queen, then it's done. That 2 winters is enough for a queen. I want to get my winter numbers more reliable, and the way I do that is to make my own queens in the spring and during the summer, and replace anything that isn't a year old or less. So I better get to it. Checking these hives. I was doing this yesterday and I really liked what I saw. I was pulling some sheets of brood from some OTS queens and some of the queen cells, and I'm looking at one over there right now. There are 3 deeps of honey on an OTS hive, and that's a lot of honey for this time of year for this location. So I'm thoroughly happy with that. So stick around, we'll look through some hives and see what we can find. See if we can find some queens, mark them, and add some honey supers if it's warranted. Now this one I've marked F820, so that means there's a new mated queen in here. So I'm not looking for much in particular in this one. I just want to know if maybe I should put a second box on them. I've been working without gloves and even without a veil, and without a jacket, without a smoker lately. Tough guy style. So they may have a new mated queen, but they don't look fantastically strong. I got into them last night. I wasn't wearing a veil. I was maybe wearing a veil. I didn't have my smoker. And they got cranky. Started stinging my legs. which as you can see is very opportune for them. I'll just look if I can find that queen. I'll mark her. Lots of eggs. She's actively laying this frame, and the workers are actively filling it with nectar and pollen. I'm getting better finding queens, even when they're not marked, but it still is a challenge. These colonies are very small still. They'll be lucky to winter on 10 frames. I may put them in 5 or 6 for the winter. So what you can't see is there's nectar through here, there's honey here, nectar throughout here, and then there's a line between here and the capped brood. So what you can't see is there's a little bit of pollen, but there's eggs and larvae all through here. And the queen on the other side. And we will catch us a queen. It's nice to tip it up so the sun shines in it. And you can see the queen when she crawls up inside there. You've probably seen this done a few times before. My one-handed queen catcher. Started to catch these queens with the one-handed queen catcher when I want to put them in a JZBZ cage. Works pretty good. Just open the door a little bit and they'll crawl right up into the cage. Oh, I got a fainter. Ah, she's good. So the weather is warm. The nights are not really cool yet. They're getting down. I think we're getting nights of in the order of 15 degrees. So we're coming to the end of the season when you can get away with such things. But I'm going to manipulate this a little bit. I'm going to get some empty comb in the brood nest and get her kick started. So she's laid that. I've got a cup here, nothing in it. She's laid that. I wonder if she's laid in the last one. It's mostly honey, but no, it's all honey. Okay, so I'll leave that there, and then I'll just redistribute some of these other frames. See, this side they haven't touched at all. I'm going to get this over here. It's a good time to do this when the queen's not in the hive. Stretch out the nest a little. Get her kick started. I want them to grow so they can winter. So brood there. Yeah, I think I see eggs. Yeah, there's eggs there. And honey there. Okay, so leave that green frame there. And put these two on the outside. Squeeze them together. Bring them back. Okay. Starting to roar a little bit, as they'll do. Looks like her paint job is drying. Maybe she's in a hurry to get out of there. She's not very big. Kind of skinny.